Ladies and gents, let's talk about that amazing woman, what's her face, the blonde bimbo who is making Erica Kirk look like a shameful demon.
And you asked if a rabbi who was against Zionism, and you quoted the rabbi, was anti-Semitic, and they said yes. That's absurd. That's so absurd, insane. Yeah, right? It's crazy.
So everybody's an anti-Semite. I guess everyone's an anti-Semite now. If we're all anti-Semites, even a Jewish rabbi is an anti. This is absurd. Yeah. I reject it. It's insanity.
Yes, the lady, the Catholic convert, where are all these Catholic converts coming from? Lord have mercy, has come out swinging.
Yeah, it is crazy. And prior to even me getting on this commission, I had been posting about Israel and Gaza before I even was hired. So, I mean, none of my statements have changed. I've always been pro-life. I've always, spoken out about what was happening since October 7th. And what I don't understand is you can say what happened on October 7th to innocent civilians is wrong. And you can also say that killing over 70,000 innocent Palestinians, starving them to death and destroying the entire, Palestinian land there is a genocide, and it's wrong. And if you can't say the two, something's really wrong with you.
Against the Zionist state. However, she gets a lot of stuff wrong. Now, I'll give her credit. She's come across really well, really forceful.
You just want the Zionists. That's all you want. Zionist supremacists.
And that is, again, it's not about religion, it's about nationality. No. So they're saying, I don't care if you're a Jewish American, a Catholic American, or whatever you are not allowed to speak out against Israel. That takes away the religious beliefs of the rabbis that you mentioned, let alone everyone else. So again, I come back to, what is the point of this commission?
It's a fraud. It's a fraud. It should be shut down. Every American should be calling for this religious liberty to be completely shut down. Because I was actually looking forward to meeting with the president in person in May and telling him what I feel about how Christians in Palestine, Muslims in Palestine, I mean, they are being slaughtered and nobody's doing anything about it. And we're funding this as Americans. And yet me as a Catholic American, I'm not allowed to say that a genocide is wrong that we're funding. You want to bomb the only Catholic church in Gaza and claim that that's okay? And nobody in our government says a word about it?
Yeah,
shame on them.
That's the final question for me, at least. How do so-called Christian Zionists in America see the footage, the photos, the way Christians are treated by Israel, and think that that's okay?
And she's here on the Young Turks with Cenk, the graduate of the Wharton School with the alcohol and gambling problem, as they all seem to have. He's the opposite of good old Alex Jones, all recruited from the same batch. But at least with Cenk, he's not into tranny sex or sharing his wife with other men, unlike Alex Jones. At least Cenk's just a standard drunk and gambling addict, and that makes him practically a saint. But this amazing woman, and she is very, very good, unfortunately, is also completely and woefully devoid of knowledge on what Judaism really is.
Yeah, what I thought was really, really important to kind of focus on from the whole controversy is the fact that you kept trying to make the point that Zionism is not the same as Judaism, right?
Yes.
Discriminating against people for being Jewish or for having, Judaism as their faith. Yeah, that is wrong. But Zionism,
I reject that.
Yeah, Zionism is a political ideology. That's what it is. It's a political ideology.
No, they don't want you to believe that. They don't want you to believe that. They want you to equate Zionism, a political ideology, racist political ideology.
One of the things they do is they try to separate Judaism from Zionism. That is an impossibility. How do you separate Orthodox Judaism from Zionism? They are one and the same.
All right, let's come and debate. Come and debate on camera. Rabbi Ovadia Yosef, he said, kill them all, slaughter all the Palestinians. That's what Rabbi Ovadia Yosef, the head rabbi, Sephardic rabbi of Israel, quoting from the Old Testament.
People. I work with
That's
them.
Not
like
the issue, though.
The issue is
Zionism.
Zionism.
They're not Jews. They don't follow their.
Where does it come
when
from?
When they kill people, they don't follow
their. What are you
their.
talking? All right.
Have
you read the Old Testament? Have you read the book of Joshua? Slay them all. The book of Samuel. Slay them all. Spare them not.
That's exactly.
You understand? They quote from it. The rabbis quote. You're not saying that. The rabbis quote from it.
Saying the truth.
The rabbis quote from it. Tell the IDF troops, kill them all, men, women, and children. It's in the book, the Torah. Tell them.
The Torah. Yeah.
Thank you.
I agree with you, man.
I spent 3 years in jail on this. 3 fucking years.
A Perth man who posted an anti-Jewish video on the internet has been jailed for 3 years. The victim of the racist rant says the sentence isn't long enough.
This is the racist video that shocked Perth's Jewish community.
Your days are numbered.
and we're going to rescue as many of your victim cult members as we can.
Two young Jewish men bullied relentlessly, the 15-minute rant posted on YouTube.
You are racist, homicidal maniacs.
Today, the man responsible, Brendon O'Connell, was jailed for 3 years after being convicted of race hate crimes. It's believed he's the first person in the state to be found guilty under new racial vilification laws. The judge described him as a bully who has an irrational hatred of Jews. One of the men victimised in the video says O'Connell has made his life hell and that the sentence is inadequate.
Wish he was going for longer. I've been harassed continuously for the last 18 months.
But the jail term's been welcomed by the Jewish community.
I think it was a victory for decency and against bigotry and prejudice. On future occasions, it could be Muslims or Asians or any group, and so we should all be happy about this result.
There was extra security in the courtroom for the sentencing. After being told he would serve 3 years in jail, O'Connell yelled out, "That's a holiday camp compared to Gaza." O'Connell will spend at least 18 months behind bars before he's eligible for parole. Tegan Sapwell at 10 News.
You are a really fine man, and I am proud to see people like you because you understand, you know. But some people, they don't understand the reality of the Zionism and things like that, you know. Yeah, but people, they in Israel, we need people like you to go and tell the truth, you know, so the people they can understand, you know. Honestly, we are all human beings and we are all the same race. But what we want to do, compromise, put the head together so we solve the problem.
But no one will talk about Judaism as the foundation for Zionism. Their books, their own books.
That's right, exactly. No, he's right. He's right.
Look, Israel Shamir, one of the biggest Israeli activists in the world, he has standing ovations at London universities. You know what he says? Israel Shamir? Palestine is not the ultimate goal of the Jews.
No.
The world is.
The whole, exactly.
Okay?
Why you don't stand there?
Yeah, why? They won't let me. Freeze each other.
Man, we need people like you come and stand and tell the world, you know, this is what Judaism, this is Anti-Zionism and things like that.
They had Rabbi Govert Freelich. I had one of the biggest cases. No! I'm a Catholic.
He's with us.
I'm a stupid Catholic, mate. Yeah, no.
He's very understandable guy.
Please.
Look.
We're all absolutely. I want peace like you. But please, I write about Israeli intelligence activity. About it. The military contracts are huge in Australia. Everyone's talking about fruits and soda stream makers. What about the billions, the drone technology, $300 million a year?
What you said, that the goal of the Israelis is not Palestine, it's the whole world. The whole world. And look what they're doing. They control the world economically and the propaganda, holding the United States by the balls, holding the United States by the balls, holding the United States by the balls.
Every year a Jew prays next year Jerusalem and the return to the land of our fathers. These are central to prayers said every week by every Jew the world over who's religious. The return to the land of our fathers, next year Jerusalem. So don't try and tell me that Zionism isn't Judaism. Please stop. We really need Michael Hoffman of revisionisthistory.org and the great Ted Pike to come on board and help out. Because clearly these people are so clueless, it's getting annoying. Listen, when Jesus called them children of hell, sons of your father, the devil, he wasn't talking to the Jews. And it wasn't that the Jews killed Jesus. The Jewish elite killed Jesus. And in the Bible, it's quite obviously said that it was the Jewish elite, the religious and political elite killed Jesus, not your average everyday Jew. Well, the converts were initially Jews, and the first non-Jew was, of course, an Ethiopian eunuch. Yes, that's why Ethiopia is so heavy in Orthodox Judaism and like 3,000 years Orthodox, and of course 2,000 years some of the oldest Christians and the original Christian convert outside of Jews, outside of Israelites. So if we can't even get the basics right, what is rabbinic Pharisaic Judaism? Christ didn't call out the Jews, he called out the Jewish leadership, the scribes and Pharisees. He called them sons of their father, the devil, children of hell. For ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte, then make him twice the child of hell as yourself.
What do you mean by that? That we who are righteous are blind?
If you were blind, you would be without sin. But since you say we see, you
sin remains.
That's true. This man wants through the devil! No! He's a cheat! A fanatic! Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees! Hypocrites all! For you shut up the kingdom of heaven against men! You do not go in yourselves, nor do you let others enter! Blind guides! You strain at a gnat and swallow a camel! You bow before the letter of the law and violate the heart of the law! Justice, mercy, good faith! You are like whited sepulchres, all clean and fair without, but within, full of dead men's bones and all corruption. You see these stones, do you not? I tell you, there will not be left here one stone upon another that will not be thrown down. Yours is a house of desolation, the home of the lizard and the spider. Serpents, brood of vipers, how can any of you escape damnation?
You can't get any more vicious than that. Took a whip of cords to the money changers, absolutely went after them. Well, he didn't go after the Jews, he went after the Jewish religious elite, the religious and political elite, because they were one and the same. So if we can't even get that right, I don't know what we can say. And all these rabbis, they're all Orthodox, so they're all Talmud. They're true Talmud. Nutricata are true Talmud pieces of garbage, all right? So just stop it. Why is it no one can work out who the real Old Testament Jews are? That is the Karaites, K-A-R-A-I-T-E-S, Karaites. They helped Michael Hoffman write his book, Judaism Discovered. That is who you should be talking to if you want a true Old Testament Jew, Tanakh. The difference between Talmud, Mishnah, Shulchan Aruch, all the oral laws, there's hundreds of books. The Torah are all the laws. There is only one original book that both Jews and Christians follow. That is the Old Testament, or Tanakh, which they look down upon us for 13-year-old, 12-year-old girls and boys doing their bar mitzvahs. They don't even take it seriously. They only listen to the word of the rabbis. That's why you have to get on board Reverend Ted Pike and Michael Hoffman, just to start with. If we can't even get these basics right, how do we even begin? I give credit to her. That's great that she's doing that. However, we have to get it right, or else it's just all more bollocks. Look, Jewish power, Zionists, Jewish radical extremists are all psychopaths. They're all nutcases. They don't know when to stop. Like any psychopath, they don't know when to stop. Like a rapist, and when the woman kicks him in the balls, he complains to the police he's been assaulted. You're dealing with mental illness with these people. You can't have a debate with them. They're mentally ill. I'm being very serious. Pathological narcissists are mentally ill. They will never stop. And when you put a bullet in their head, they'll look at you. Why are you doing this? Just because I want to enslave you and kill you, and we're doing all sorts of shit behind the scenes with viruses. So what you're really seeing is a Heritage Foundation fight. This is a fight between Bannon, that woman, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, and the Heritage Foundations versus Gary Cohn, Goldman Sachs, and Jared Kushner and Chabad, which have to be gotten rid of. That's the big fight now within MAGA. And we're going to win this one. All right, when Bannon said no greater Israel, these are fighting words.
Right. I've always had Israel's back. I adamantly oppose Greater Israel Project, and that's exactly why we're in this situation today. And nobody on the Israel side can defend it. The Greater Israel Project, this imperial Israel, is what's got us here to have a two-state solution, and that is this Gaza redevelopment with Qatar writing the check and the Turks providing security.
Now, the trouble is they're both so pus-ridden and full of corruption. Well, here we are, here we are. But if we can't even get these basics right, be an Israelite, okay? Be an Israelite. There was an Orthodox Jew once told me, because I said we were going to have a Muslim mosque, we were going to have a Christian church, and we were going to have a Catholic Christian, and we were going to have a synagogue down at Israelite Bay on the south coast of Western Australia. And I said, look, I don't know, dude, this Talmud, I can't tolerate it, I can't accept that. And he said, look, Brendon, we had an argument about it. I said, look, the Talmud was written in times of great persecution. It's the diary of a 13-year-old schoolgirl having a bad day. You're not trying to kill me. I'm not trying to kill you. All we have to do is survive, Brendon. This is the book of Daniel. This is the book of Revelation. All we have to do is survive. God is gathering up his Israelites from all corners of the earth, all religions. Your DNA is resonating to the times, to the zeitgeist. That is the belief. So, she is right about Christian evangelicals are literally the enemy, but she says Jews aren't complaining and Muslims aren't complaining. Christian evangelicals are. Yeah, but who are the Christian evangelicals? Go check their original names before they change their name. They penetrated that whole movement. That was a Russian Soviet era penetration operation to get inside the United States. And they're using drug money, masses of drug money to launder through these huge 40,000 foot stadiums, these gigantic World Wrestling Federation, Ari Emanuel, huge, you remember Greflo Dollar, God wants you to be rich. All these things have all come out of the Israeli state in the city of London, and they're laundering drug money. Alex Jones is trafficking around drugs from his warehouse. That's probably why his journalist was killed. And there's masses of drug trafficking going on within those churches, and it's a way of keeping control, because you make a community, you make a village, you have childcare, you get everyone together, then you put the pressure on them. But anyway, it's very good to see this woman who's like a real, what Erica Kirk could have been and should have been, and now Erica Kirk is a demon, and she will die a demon's death. We'll see what happens. Let's see if Candace Owens can possibly come good. She's already mentioned Kay Griggs. The pressure's coming on. People have got to keep putting the pressure on. You've seen the fantastic work of Mary Silva and Lee Levino, who ambushed Steve Bannon. The changes you see taking place have nothing to do with the clown show online. It's people doing hard work. It's Kevin and others, all Catholics. Some might add, most of them, the vast majority, not all. Many of them are leftists, virtual commies, but good people, good hearts, sincere, and that's all I want, sincerity. They've ambushed Linda Sarsour and AOC and the gang, and they've said nothing about this. Oh, Muslims, we've got to fight these evil Jews. Well, okay, why won't you do it on national security? But anyway, even with all this half-witted talk about anti-Semitism and taking away free speech, which is never happening in the United States. It's not happening. It's a furphy. It's just something to keep drama going. Just go on national security. Just print out my 1,018-page document and start talking national security. Are they going to stop you talking national security?
Issue has to do with our national security and specifically our critical infrastructure. So I found that Microsoft core codes their products from the Azure cloud to Microsoft Office to Windows in Israel. These products are being used by our Pentagon, our weapons labs, Boeing, your local businesses and universities. And they're core coded by graduates of the Israeli Military Intelligence Program, Talpiot and Unit 8200.
See, I've said this 1,000 times, people. Nobody listens to me. Richard Foley, I said 1,000 times, stop whining about the new laws in Australia. Go on national security. No one will do a damn thing. Nobody. I just got to the point where I'm just sick to death of it. It's like a bunch of squawking, wailing babies. All you do is talk national security. You bypass any laws in places like Australia. All right, you get past it all. Israel is a national security risk. That's what you go after. That's how you win. But kudos to this lady, kudos to the young Turk half-wits who are attempting to redeem themselves. I presume they smelt the change in the wind. And we'll see where all this leads. It's going to be a very exciting time. Looking forward to this Easter. I've, of course, been doing all my prayers, given up all sorts of things. Foul language, number one. Have you noticed? Oh, I'm determined to do it. Determined. And I hope you enjoyed some of the old videos I put out where people are going, wow, this is so good. And I said, dude, that's 5 years old. 5 years old. Okay. That's how long I've been at this. But anyway, it's all coming out. As Pluto drags through my 12th house of exile and hidden enemies to emerge into the first house. It's going to be an interesting time. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, let's get on Reverend Ted Pike. Let's start lobbying these people. We want to see Reverend Ted Pike. We want to see Michael Hoffman, revisionisthistory.org. We want to see them explaining the difference, all right? Judaism is Zionism, rabbinic Pharisaic Judaism, who Christ called children of hell, sons of your father, the devil. Hello? They pray every year, next year, Jerusalem. Every year, the return to the land of our fathers. It is the cornerstone of Judaism, for crying out loud. This bullshit. Zionism isn't Judaism. It's just, oh, stop it, please. Look at me with this Palestinian activist all these years ago. Come on, that was 2014. And the half-wits are still playing this silly game? Is everyone this stupidly ignorant? It's so frustrating when you see someone who could articulate some good basic things forcefully and still not get it right. All right, ladies and gents, we'll talk again real soon.